An important aspect of any group of people, whether it's for a school project or an entire country, is a leader. You cannot run an effective club without a leader. It simply does not work. Imagine being in a club where nobody wants to take charge. The lack of organization will result in things not getting done on time, projects being completely abandoned, and your overall interest, as well as the interest of other group members, will gradually fade away. Throughout history, we have seen great leaders such as Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. We have also seen tyrannical and power-hungry leaders such as Adolf Hitler and Kim Jong-un. Now, what these two leaders had in common was their willingness to hold power and reap its rewards for personal gain. A Greek philosopher known as Plato stated that only those who do not seek power are qualified to hold it, and both Hitler and Kim Jong-un were, as Plato suggests, unqualified leaders. This is exactly what my ISU books, Children of Men by P.D. James and 1984 by George Orwell describe. Societies where these brutal leaders are in power, and how life is like for the citizens of those societies. Let's go back to the example of the club you're in. We'll have two clubs, Club A and Club B. Both these clubs have a common purpose. They want to take pictures of the school for the yearbook. However, both these clubs have completely different approaches. Club A is more of a totalitarian type of leadership where the president makes all the decisions without consulting the general members, while Club B is more of a democracy, and the president consults the general members first before carrying out a task. Once all the members have been chosen, Club A decides to give everyone an average camera. Nobody has any say on what camera it is, and everyone must use the camera that was provided. Club A wants to promote equality, but is equality really a good thing? Sure, everyone wants to be treated the same, but there is a thin line between equality and the suppression of individuality. Club A forces everyone to use the same camera no matter their skill level. This means that someone who has never taken a picture in their lives will use the same camera as someone who is the future photographer of the Daily Bugle. Club A doesn't allow anyone to be exceptionally skilled at anything and would much rather have everyone being equal for the sacrifice of the quality of the pictures that the members take. Club B, on the other hand, takes a different approach. They let members pick their own cameras based off their skill levels and what they think they can handle. This allows members to gradually develop their skills and not slow down others who are more skilled than them. This allows pictures to not only come out better, but for every member to be satisfied either by the pictures they take or by their constant improvements for the betterment of the club. A few weeks in, Club A's president has run into a problem. Valentine's Day is coming up, and he spent all his money on the big bucks meal over at Taco Bell, and forgot to buy his girlfriend a gift. Rather than finding a job and working for this money, he decides to use his power for personal gain. He tells the general members that each of them needs to bring in $10 to the next meeting for new equipment or they will be kicked out of the club. Reluctantly, everyone brings in the $10, hoping for some better equipment. But Club A's president instead buys a teddy bear and a box of chocolates. Some time passes, and the club members are getting curious on where the new equipment is, and your friend, Billy Joe, decides to question the president's motives. The president finds out about this and decides to kick Billy Joe out of the club. Club B runs into the same problem. However, the president doesn't abuse his power, and instead finds his own way to get the money. The two different paths the clubs take can be seen in higher levels of power as well. Some governments shield the people from reality and take advantage of the fear they brought upon them through various forms of punishments. Club A's members start to feel oppressed. They believe they don't get a say on what's happening and what direction the club is heading in. If anyone questions the president, they get kicked out of the club. The members will start talking about the club to one another privately, saying how the club isn't what they expected and how taking pictures for the yearbook lost the fun it initially had. Arvo Part is a well-known composer that I studied in music class, and he said, "The human voice is the most powerful instrument of all. Like an instrument is meant to be played, the human voice is meant to be used, and if any leader tries to oppress their voice, the people will try to find another way to express it, maybe in a diary or in the tech hall at school." Club B, on the other hand, promotes communication between the general members and the president. If the members ever feel that something needs to change, they simply address it to the president, and the president puts in his honest effort to get rid of the problem, in order for a better environment to be achieved. Throughout the course of the year, the members of Club A grew dissatisfied. They no longer want to be part of this club, but this absurd description of Club A isn't unknown in our lives. The reality is, this militaristic and oppressive government techniques are present in our society. North Korea, for an example, is exactly like this. The inhabitants aren't allowed to say anything bad about the regiment or the government, and if they do, they get the death penalty. The people of North Korea are restricted on types of movies they're allowed to watch, video games they're allowed to play, and even what they do or say in the security of their own homes. Orwell described these kinds of societies dystopian. The only difference is that members of Club A have the option of leaving the club, but inhabitants of North Korea do not. People born in these societies have a prison sentence on them the moment they're born. As a result, dystopian societies are like shoes that don't fit. Those living in them know that something's not right. They know it's uncomfortable. But gradually, the people get used to the idea of discomfort and get comfortable with the idea of tight-fitting shoes, exactly like the inhabitants of dystopian worlds get used to the idea of oppressive leadership. Again, we have two clubs, Club A and Club B. Which club would you choose?